It's time to conclude my trilogy of roller coasters I never want to ride again. Let's face it, after being on so many roller coasters, you start to figure out what you enjoy and also what you do not. For argument's sake, a few of the roller coasters mentioned in this video I wouldn't consider straight up dumpster fire, but basically see no reason to ride again when there are so many better options to pick from. Before we get to this list of never again attractions, please do me a favor by clicking on that like button, and if you are new to my channel, love roller coasters, make sure to subscribe. Desert Storm, located at Castles and Coasters. One of my newest credits to make the list. Desert Storm is a Hopkins looping roller coaster that, on the surface, is the most harmless roller coaster to be featured today. Overall, this isn't that bad of a ride. Desert Storm does a few things right, like featuring no over-the-shoulder restraint, and the two loops are pretty decent. The second inversion is a little funky and offers some laterals as you exit the maneuver. The biggest ding against this roller coaster would have to be its lackluster layout. Besides the two inversions, every other element is not that exciting. The drop is very tame, and the two repeating helixes after the final inversion are basically filler. Considering that you have to pay over $40 to get on this roller coaster and Patriot, which as a bonus will be sort of annexed with Desert Storm, I see no reason to revisit this park to ride these roller coasters. If you've never visited Castles and Coasters and are in the area, I see no reason why you can't kill a few hours in the park. But yeah, these are one and done attractions. Hurler, located at Carowinds. This wooden roller coaster has to be the worst attraction at Carowinds. I rode this roller coaster once in 2021 and see no reason ever to strap into this torture device. To start things off, the operations on this roller coaster were atrocious. I spent over 6 minutes in between dispatches, which is mind-boggling for a simple lap bar seatbelt restraint system. The ride experience is something like being in multiple car accidents over and over until you finally make it back to the station. The only bearable part of the ride, which was surprising to me, is that first drop and turnaround. Once you clear that area, the train starts to shimmy and jackhammer its way to the brake run. Those of morbid curiosity will want to check this coaster out, but if you value your spine, I say sit this one out. Wildcat, located at Lake Compounce. Before riding this classic wooden roller coaster, I was actually pretty interested in checking it out. I heard that the park did some track work and also replaced its aging trains with modern Millennium Flyers by Great Coasters International. Needless to say, I was very much surprised when this wooden coaster changed from being a mild thrill machine into a complete train wreck. Honestly, I can't think of a single redeeming moment of this ride. The layout was bland, and every valley of each drop was full of horrendous rattle. The ride loves to slam you into the side of the car, which I thought was going to break a rib or something. Thankfully, I see that the park is very serious about preserving this classic landmark by having Gravity Group perform some track work. The ride was SB&O during 2023 season, and according to Lake Compounce, it will reopen for the 2024 season. Gravity Group has done wonders with other aging wooden coasters, so I expect Wildcat to be another great success story for Gravity Group. Roar at Six Flags America. I think there is no saving this dilapidated wooden roller coaster. Just like Wildcat at Hershey Park, that coaster was transformed by Rocky Mountain Construction into the best roller coaster in the park. The same needs to happen to Roar. The park did some retracking back in 2022, but from what I hear, it fixed a couple spots, but overall the ride is still running as bad as it always had. The biggest ding, just like Desert Storm, is how boring the ride is. The layout isn't great and never really offers any good moments of airtime or solid laterals. Joker, which is another RMC hybrid conversion, which was completed to the counterpart Roar at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, has been a pretty big hit for that property. Six Flags America really needs another standout coaster, and I couldn't think of anything better than a RMC'd Roar. Giant Dipper at Belmont Park. During that same trip that I visited castles and coasters, I also made my way over to San Diego to ride the classic wooden roller coaster Giant Dipper. From a historical point of view, I really enjoyed the ride. The classic trains, manual braking system, the buzzer when the train leaves the station all make this a fun, unique attraction. However, the overall ride experience is something to be desired. Being just shy of 100 years old, you could imagine that Giant Dipper has a few moments of roughness. Well, basically every turn or valley is pretty rough. Now that I've been on this classic wooden roller coaster, I don't see a reason to revisit this park. The coaster has little to no airtime, and with a headache that I got after riding, I'll just stick to SeaWorld San Diego, but I am glad that I did check out this classic wooden coaster at Belmont Park. Well, I guess if you're a fan of classic wooden roller coasters, this video might have upset you a little bit. Not to contradict everything that I've already said, but I can still respect these attractions. Without them, we wouldn't have any of the modern steel or wooden coasters we have today. These rides still serve their purpose, and all but say Hurler would I tell you that I think the coaster is at least worth one go around. Well, that's gonna do it for today's video. Tell me your coasters you never want to ride again down in the comments. Until next time, this is X Screen Thrills.